In the past few weeks following Hurricane Michael, local churches and businesses are donating their money, materials, and time to help those affected by the storm. Pastor Don Gann of First Baptist of Oxford has plans of sending a group down to help, but says it is too early to make any progress.
The need for untrained volunteers, like what we would be bringing, for the most part, hasn't opened up that much yet because the need is so great for trained volunteers that have specific skills.
Gann says the condition of the disaster areas is not yet fit for his volunteers.
No support for those volunteers right now. There's no restaurants, no power in a lot of those places, and so it has to be a part of the whole disaster response, and you don't want to take away, like for example, Red Cross and Baptist are feeding in that area, and other organizations are feeding. The food is going to the victims right now, and you don't want to bring in a whole bunch of volunteers that'll eat that food that's really going for victims and those kind of things. It just takes a little time. People
from First Baptist of Oxford are constantly asking what they can do to help. Gann encourages his church to donate what is a current necessity for victims.
The needs for, the basic items like water and, baby diapers and the common things are already being met. And so we're encouraging people, if they're going to collect things, to collect building materials, sheetrock and roofing shingles, things like that.
The owner of Discount Building Materials, Cliff Sink, collected donations and just came back from a trip to Port St. Joe. Sink knew he needed to help the moment he realized just how serious Hurricane Michael was.
Since my kids were little, like 4 and 5 years old, we went down there every year. And if you brought my family here and you sat around the table and you said, what are your 10 best memories you have of our family? At least 5 of them were going to be right there. I was just destroyed going there every year for 15 years, just staring at the TV. And I can't imagine what they're dealing with.
Once Sink and his workers delivered their materials, they were shocked by what they saw.
It was just destroyed. Just completely destroyed. One little town's main street, like on the square, it'd be like on the square, and the facades of the buildings were all laying in the street. And the whole town. Those houses are just destroyed. You have to go in there and completely gut them.
Madison Scarpino, NewsWatch Ole Miss. Panama City Beach is still facing the devastation of Hurricane Michael. Restoring power and water are the first steps in the recovery process. Mississippi native Grant Gatlin owns Chief Water Filter Systems. He is here to repay Panama City for their help when he went through Hurricane Katrina.
Panama City sent their truck and man, people, and helped, and they were tremendous help, and they were really good people. So now that this has happened, we want to return the favor.
In addition to power outages and property damages, hurricanes also contaminate drinking water. Gatlin is here to filter the water for residents and wants people to understand the risks these storms pose.
This is why we try to educate people on, something like this comes up, get out. It ain't worth your life. So this is why we're down here. We're setting up. Pastor Christian, we're backing them. And so we want to help the firemen here, and then in turn they help the public.
People like Gatlin have come from all over, but owner of Venture Out Vacations, Kelly Sims, is not surprised. To her, this community is like a family.
It's amazing. We've seen people are coming out of the woodwork to help us, so it's awesome.
Wind was the major cause of damage for the Venture Out Vacation houses.
We have had a large section of the marina was blown over onto our resort as well, and that took off a lot of the roofs, caused a lot of damage to the properties here. A lot of the home construction here was done with metal, like metal roofing, and that's the majority of what the mountain of metal is from the roofs, siding, things like that.
Sims was overwhelmed with the amount of support towards her community. People near and far have given their time and donations to help.
Other property owners, friends, churches have given, just people far and wide have reached out to venture out and brought supplies in to help.
Madison Scarpino, NewsWatch Ole Miss.